Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. The subject of the discourse today is self-control or self-restraint, which is at the very base of spiritual pursuit, leading one from bondage to liberation, from ignorance to enlightenment, from darkness to light. That is the summary that summarizes what spiritual life is. Samsara is darkness. Darkness created by ahankara, mamankara, I-ness and my-ness, and therewith mananusaya, self-conceit, and that covers the mind. And one doesn't know whither to go, what will happen next moment. And one commits all kinds of karma because of this ignorance. And with ignorance always goes tanha, craving, desire. So a combination of desire and ignorance motivate beings in this world most of the time. And the result, they are all imprisoned and they don't know that they are imprisoned. And that is mental blindness, mental being blind and groping in the darkness of samsaric existence. Spiritual pursuit, Dhamma, particularly the Dhamma of the Buddha, has only one aim and not two. And that one aim is Mahasagarasya ekameva rasam. The great ocean has only one taste, lona rasam, namely the taste of salt. Even so it is with Dhamma, with the teaching of enlightenment discovered by the supremely enlightened Buddha and bestowed on all beings to become enlightened. So the purpose, the Dhamma has only one purpose. Just as this ocean has only one taste, the Dhamma, the taste of Dhamma is vimutti rasam. Dhammasya ekameva rasam. Dhamma has only one taste, the taste of freedom, taste of deliverance from evil. And that can happen when a person knows that one is groping in the dark and there is need to be out in the dimension of light that Dhamma takes. This has to be very clearly understood by all those committed to the path of enlightenment as taught by Bhagavan Buddha. So now, as I mentioned, the most important element in this pursuit of spiritual perfection leading to enlightenment is self-control. Self-control that can make an end of ahankara, mamankara, self-illusion, I-ness and my-ness, and the conceit and pride that follow from that. So, self-control is it is said sammapadhana the right and relentless spiritual pursuit consists of, there are fourfold factors. 4 factors comprise spiritual pursuit, a relentless spiritual effort and pursuit. What are these 4? The first consists of self-effort. The second, overcoming through self-effort. Third, development and cultivation as a result of overcoming and self-control. And whatever has been developed and cultivated to be conserved into a power, into a potency. What does this mean? The fourfold self-effort is right, relentless effort. First, it starts with self-control. Sangvara, self-control with reference to what? With reference to akusala. All those factors which are negative, unwholesome, evil, which defile the mind, which weaken the mind and keep the mind in darkness. So, self-effort means effort to control, have control over all negative impulses, all that is unwholesome and bad. No matter how you may love your negative qualities and negative activities and negative views, once you know that these evil factors keep you tied to the wheel of samsara, recurring existence, being born again and again, dying again and again, and being reborn again and again. Endlessly, aimlessly wander into the desert of worldly existence. Once you know this, that is self-effort to, you say, concerned with controlling the negative impulses and activities and thinking and speaking and etc. To have control over them, control over all the negative impulses. And if, in spite of all the efforts in controlling and in restraining the evil impulses, they were to spring up again and again and obsess the mind, then you have to have such a inner store of potency and power by which you overcome those very factors which arise again and again in spite of all the efforts to control them. You control them momentarily and they again come. You say, well, once I will give you a little story. A very highly educated professor, a lady, this is many years ago, the wife of one of my very close devotees, a very famous man, comes and says, Swamiji, I have just come from Varanasi. Very good. What did you do there? I went round and did all these namaskarams and all the rituals and all that sort of thing. And then what happened? I am very fond of brinjals, he said. I enjoy the brinjal sambar. Fine, then what happened? She said, I have given it up. Very good. How? I made a vow in front of Vishweshwara, that temple there, and said, oh, I give up this for your sake, Lord. So give me power, give me all that I need in my life to be successful and prosperous and happy, have control over my husband and children. Wonderful. All that she aspires to have control over others, not over herself. And this is the world. Make no mistake about it. People like to change others, but not themselves. This is called the mental blindness, mental delusion that keeps one bound in the wheel of karma and punarjanma. So I said, very good, you have given up. He says, yes. For how long? Oh, forever. Then later I came to know that she has again started the brinjal with a big feast. So the brinjal thing Vishweshwara could not take away. Nobody, no God, no guru, no religion, nothing can change unless you want to change. That's the truth. She didn't want to change herself. She wanted to change others. Why she gave up the brinjal? Because she wanted to have control over the husband, who is quite a strong fellow, who doesn't care to listen to her all the time. And the children too are quite educated, intelligent fellows. They argue with the mother. If she is having some demand which is irrational, there you are. So back to square one, where she started, she again back. So this is what happens to the so-called well-intentioned religious people. Well-intentioned. Mere intention is not enough in life. Intention must be supported by action. And that is possible when you have self-control and nothing else. So, self-control over our negative tendencies will come when you know what are the negative things and how to overcome them. So self-control, when you have this understanding of the negativity inside you, then you put forth effort to control them in a way that you can overcome them. You can abandon them. Once you are able to overcome and abandon them, your road is clear. The negative, the unwholesome, the bad things are out of your way, and you are free to cultivate and develop that which is wholesome, that which is good, that which is noble, that which is sublimating, uplifting. That means develop sila, develop samadhi, develop panya. Develop virtuous conduct by voluntarily undertaking moral precepts in order to cleanse the mind, purify the mind and strengthen the mind, and have control over karma. It is karma, action, that is at the heart of life. Ultimately, life or our living can be reduced to action. From morning to night, what do? We are doing something, some action, either thinking or speaking or acting in a manner, working, something. So action is the essence of life. Now once you know that very deeply and profoundly, then it is easy for you to develop some kind of control over the negative factors that surround actions. And by having control, you overcome the negative factors. And by doing so, successfully, you now embark upon development of all those which are good. The contrary to the evil, to the opposite. Good, wholesome, noble, sublime. So constantly put forth effort in order to cultivate them and develop them. That means you undertake voluntarily a course of training or practice called Sila. Moral precepts that purify the mind, that enable you to have control over your actions by voluntarily abstaining from something. When you voluntarily abstain from, let us say, a very unwholesome thing like violence or killing or stealing or being corrupt or or indulging in sexual misconduct or just all kinds of sensual practices, or have control and overcome through the practice of Sila lying, which is so common. Lying is the very opposite of being truthful. And unless we are truthful, we cannot achieve the ultimate truth. That is plain truth. And sooner it goes into your mind and rings a wisdom music in your heart, so long you don't have that. No question of effort, no question of control, self-control, or the ability to overcome the evil and to cultivate and develop the good. So, once you take simultaneously these three factors, first control them whenever they arise, relentlessly, they will come up again and again and again. Good doesn't matter, keep on. You may fall 100 times, get up 100 times. Never lose perseverance and patience. The result, it will become stable, you will be able to cultivate and develop. And not only that, you can conserve what you have developed, what you have cultivated. You can preserve. And conservation of what? Conservation of spiritual potency born of development of the good. Whatever wholesome development and sublime qualities you develop, and when you are able to conserve them, preserve them with you, strengthen them and reinforce them constantly, then they get transformed into Karma Shakti and Dharma Shakti. Karma Shakti is the potency of every action, good and bad, that enables the action without the intervention of any external agency, whether gods or supernormal power or guru or religion or whatever. Without any of this, it has its own capacity, the action itself. And the potency that is in the action enables the action to produce a result. Every volitional action has a tremendous potency to produce a similar result, similar consequence. You kill a person and you will be killed. You steal somebody else's stuff and your things will also disappear. Somebody will knock it off. You commit all kinds of immoral action and you will see somebody else will do the same thing with your own family members or with you, never mind with others. You keep on telling lies and you will see nobody will believe you and they will tell you nothing but lie all the time. And you can never find the truth. And keep on indulging in drinking, so-called society drinking, club drinking and whatnot, and make your mind blind, helpless, addicted, and become mad as a result. Because you lose control over the mind. And by losing control you can't overcome any of the addictions and bad things that happen because of that. If a person is addicted to drinking or drug taking and so on, that person is capable of breaking all the moral conduct, all the precepts. So once a person indulges in all these and violates all the fivefold universally uplifting precepts, moral precepts, known as Panchashila, which the Buddha has prescribed for every seeker of truth, for every seeker of enlightenment. Once you violate them and break them and not care for them, you have had it. You will go back to the old rut and only suffer. You lose the power or the capacity to control yourself. Never mind controlling others. And when you have no control over yourself, you cannot overcome all the negativities within you or much less in others. And when you can't control yourself and overcome all the negativities, where is the question of cultivating the good? And then where is the question of conserving the good and thereby develop the Shakti, the karma, the power, potency in action itself, which is the core of life, core element of life. And then there is also the Dharma Shakti, the spiritual potency, born of the pursuit, the sincere and abiding pursuit of spiritual perfection, spiritual enlightenment. Without compromising the spiritual life in any manner with with all kinds of worldly factors, if we pursue and persevering, a time will come, we'll develop a Shakti, a spiritual power which can move the whole world. This Shakti has got consist of 5 distinct power. Power faculties, original source of power. I will dilate on